The Link Show is just about to start. If you want to be a part of The Link Show, head over to linkkids.com.au/live.
Today on The Link Show, we're doing another episode of My Way versus God's Way.
And we're going to continue with our game, is it the Bible or is it a movie quote? And as always, it's standard, I'm going to win again.
No, but we are going to read all your shout-outs, that and so much more. But you ready?
Let's get
linked!
If you listen, oh, right, it's fun.
Yes!
Hold on. Big.
Welcome back to The Link Show, where we love linking in with you, learning about God, and we also love...
jokes. We love telling jokes, and we've got a new one. I've got a new one for you today, right? Okay. What is the saddest subject?
I don't know.
It's math, because it's got so many problems.
Oh, Link Crew, tell me you got some better jokes. Buckle, let's hear those shout-outs.
All right, let's read some of your jokes. Jake says, what did the shark say when he ate the clownfish? This tastes a little funny. Yep, that's definitely better than Miguel's jokes. Olivia says, what do you call a fly with no wings? It's a walk. Very nice. And lastly, Ariel says there were two cavemen. The first one said to the second, why do we always have turtle for dinner? The second guy said, because too much fast food is bad for you. Very nice. Your jokes are definitely better than Miguel's. Well done. Keep them coming through. But let's go check out Preach Part 1. All right, we're doing something a little bit different today for our first part of the Preach. Today we're taking a look all about remembering God's goodness. And I've been wanting to create a memory-based Kahoot game, and I have a bit of an idea in my head based on a video game that I used to play. So I'm actually going to work with you today, and we're going to try and make our very own game together. Now, if you've ever played Fall Guys before, or seen anyone play Fall Guys, you've probably seen the idea of the game that I'm trying to make. We're going to make 8 different platforms, and on each one we're going to be showing different pictures, and you've got to remember what they are, and we're going to see if we can figure it out. Let's start building and see if we can't make something kind of cool over the next couple of seconds. Let's go. Let's play the first round really quickly just to show you what happens. There's 15 seconds on the screen, and we've made just the top 4 tiles because we're on the easy difficulty. So it goes strawberry, then we've got mango, then apple, then orange. And you'll see they keep disappearing. So you've got to try and remember them all. So it's strawberry, mango, apple, orange. And the picture is obviously apple. So you've got to remember which of these was apple. Well, we know it was strawberry, mango, apple, orange. So yellow is the answer. So on Kahoot, you would vote yellow. And there you go. It's correct. You get yourself 1,000 points. I love it because I love playing memory games. I remember when I was younger, I used to love playing memory with my family. We'd have all those different cards, whether it was picture cards or flashcards or, you know, A for apple and B for banana cards, and you'd lay them all out and you'd take turns flipping them over trying to find matching cards. And here's the thing, sometimes you'd flip over a banana and then an apple, and then you didn't get them the same, so you'd flip them over, and now it's the next person's turn and they go pick up another random card and they turn over an apple. Did they remember where the apple that you turned was? You see, remembering is hard sometimes, but it's super duper important. You see, that's actually what we're learning about today, that there's some things in our lives we have to make sure we take the time to remember. When someone is kind to you, remember it. When something great happens, remember it. But even more important than that, when God does some miracle in your life, when God does something amazing, it's so important that we remember the good things that God has done, because there's always going to come times in our life where there's difficult days, when things are tough. But if we've taken the time in the good days to remember the good things that God has done for us, the good things He's helped us with, then it helps us remember in those tough times, it's okay. I remember God was good before, and I know He's going to be good again. And the truth is, we all face that challenge. Even people in in the Bible had the same challenge. So that's actually what we're going to look at a little later on. Somebody who took the time after God did a miracle to stop and remember the good things that God has done. But we'll talk about that a little later on.
Welcome back. We're going to do our game. Is it from the Bible or is it from the movie?
And remember, you can play along at church or at school. Remember, the Bible is that, and the movie is that. Your teachers and your leaders will be watching. But Lockie, what is our first question?
Go.
All right, your first quote is, Ohana means family.
Oh, we watched this.
Family
this
means
week.
nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
We watched it this week. You ready?
Yeah.
3,
Ready?
2, 1.
Stitch.
Yes, that's correct.
I was about to say Fast and Furious, but that's all right.
Definitely not.
Family.
You guys got that quick.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Cece, you can get a extra point.
I forgot. Cece got the extra point because she guessed it from the movie, right?
As iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another.
Yes.
Do you know where it's from?
No.
Well, if you do, shout it out.
Ready? You guys got your answers?
Yes, we're ready.
3, 2, 1, go. You're both correct. Does anyone know what book it's from?
I'm going to say Proverbs.
That is correct.
Hey!
Where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be.
Oh
Got it.
my goodness.
We're ready.
Oh, sorry.
Stop
I keep
it!
forgetting. I literally keep forgetting. This is our creative by design.
No, it's not.
I got you.
It's not our creative by design, but that's
Are you
okay.
guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm
3,
ready.
2, 1.
Matthew.
But Cece, you're upside down, but you're correct.
Yeah!
Matthew.
That's correct.
Yes.
Our creative by
Matthew.
design is passing down generations to generations. Joel 1 verse 3.
I wouldn't know. Hey, I'm coming. I'm on the comeback. I'm on the comeback. I'm on the comeback.
You don't have time to be timid. You must be bold and daring.
Oh, that sounds like a Bible verse.
Yeah.
You don't have
Okay.
time to be timid.
Mate, you can't
You have
just
to
say
be
with
bold
what you're thinking.
and daring.
Alright, you ready?
It sounds like Meet the Robinsons.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
You guys got your answers?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Miguel, you are correct.
Yeah, I know my Bible. All
It
right.
sounded like something from Timothy.
Timothy Chalamet, maybe.
What's the movie?
Wait. There's no time to be timid, bold, and daring. It sounds like a sports movie.
No.
It sounds like Moana.
Definitely
That
not.
is incorrect.
Okay.
The movie is Beauty and the Beast.
What?
Oh man.
Who says it?
It's Lumiere, the candle guy.
Wow. So
I'm sad.
Lockie, it sounds like I just did a comeback.
I think
And we tied.
this is tied. So
We're tied.
the next one.
Oh, there's
Okay,
another
we're
one.
ready.
There's another one.
Ready?
Our fate lives within us. You only have to be brave enough to see it.
That sounds like Brave. Nah, I got you.
Have you guys got your answers?
Are you
Yeah.
sure? You
3,
ready?
2, 1, go. Miguel is holding up the wrong answer.
He is! Which means...
Cece wins.
Dang.
Miguel, you said brave. You got
But was
the
it
movie
Brave?
correct.
Was it Brave? Oh, do I get like a half point?
I think
I get a
you're
point,
tied.
I get a point.
don't think
I
anyone
think
wins.
I'm okay with tie.
I said
The
Brave.
tie.
So because you guessed Bible, but you said the right movie,
Yeah, I'm happy
you
to
get
give him a point.
and Cece gets a point, so it's a tie.
It's a tie, meaning Miguel is still on top overall.
Oh, I forgot about
Let's go.
Overall.
Overall, I'm winning by 1.
God, see, I was so generous in sharing a point with you just now. If I hadn't have done that,
Yeah, rookie mistake, but that's all right. Let's go see what Buckle's up to.
Say hello to Joshua, one of the heroes of the Bible, and he is just taken over as the leader of the Israelites. Before him, Moses had been leading, but because of the people's disbelief in God's power and goodness, they had been wandering around the wilderness for 40 years. But now the time had come for God to take the Israelites into the promised land. So Joshua gathered all of the Israelites together, and they came to the Jordan River, the last thing stopping them from crossing into the land. And so for 3 days and 3 nights, they set up camp near the river and prepared themselves to cross, just as God had commanded. And then the time came to move on. But at this time of year, the river's waters were so high that it was impossible to cross on foot. And so God told Joshua to gather the priests together and to carry the Ark of the Covenant and to lead the people. And so Joshua got all of the Israelites to pack up their things to get ready to cross the river. Joshua told the priests to walk into the water. And so they did what he said, and as soon as they got to the edge of the river, the water stopped flowing, and the priests were standing on dry ground. And all of the Israelites crossed to the other side. Once they'd all crossed, Joshua told 12 men from the 12 tribes of Israel to go to the place that the priests were standing, and to each pick up a stone and bring it with them to the other side. Once they did this, Joshua told the priests that they could come out, and as soon as they left the river, the water started flowing again. Joshua and the men brought the 12 stones back to their camp, and using the stones built a memorial to God, so that anyone that came after them, their children and their children's children, would remember that God had stopped the Jordan River from flowing, doing a miracle and bringing his children into the promised land. I love when we take the time to look at the Bible in its entirety, look at all of the stories and how they link together. In today's story, we learnt that Joshua and the Israelites crossed the Jordan River, that God did a miracle and split the waters so that they could cross into the promised land. But here's the thing, God had already done that miracle for the Israelites 40 years earlier. You see, when Moses was leading the people out of Egypt, God did crazy miracles. He parted the Red Sea. He helped them escape the Egyptian army. He did the impossible. And yet when the time came for the Israelites to cross into the promised land, instead of remembering God's goodness to them, they looked at the people of the land and said, nope, they're too strong, they're too powerful, we can't do it. And because they forgot God's goodness, they spent 40 years wandering around in the wilderness instead of stepping into the promise that God had for them. But this was their second chance. 40 years later, Moses is now given the leadership to Joshua. He is being strong and courageous, and he gets to the Jordan River and he's like, we are going. God is with us. And then God does another miracle. He splits the Jordan. They cross on dry ground, but Joshua does something. They pick up these stones from the riverbed. They build this memorial because Joshua saw what happened the first time when the people forgot God's goodness. And he was thinking, I am not letting that happen again. And so they built this memorial to say, we will remind our children and our children's children and every generation to come to remember that God is more powerful than people. We will remember God's goodness. And the truth is that it's the same for you and me. Every single day we've got reasons to be thankful to God. There is God's goodness, that we have family, that we can breathe, that we've got this world that we can live in. When we stop and take the time, I promise you, you can find things to be thankful for. When was the last time you stopped and actually said thank you to God for his goodness, and actually was specific, listing the things that God has done for you? I love in Joshua 21:45, it says this, every single one of God's good promises came true. None of them failed. You see, Joshua knew the importance of remembering God's promises and the goodness in his life. You see, when we forget God's goodness, we start to see the circumstances of life around us and we think that the circumstances are more powerful than God. But we know that's not true. And so I love in Psalms 103 verse 2, the psalmist actually writes this, praise the Lord, O my soul, and do not forget any of his acts of kindness. In other words, praise the Lord and make sure you remember everything that God has done for you. And so this is my challenge for us today. Imagine this. Imagine if every single day we took time to thank God for his goodness. Every single day we stopped and remembered the good things that God had done in our lives. Every single day we remembered that God is more powerful than our circumstances. That it doesn't matter then whatever we face that day, because we remembered that, hey, God's already won the victory yesterday and the day before and the day before that, and I know he will do it again. And so it's up to you and me. And this is what I want us to remember today. It's the most important thing. Make sure you write it down and put it somewhere that you'll remember, that we need to remember God's goodness.
I cannot believe that we tied on a technicality, so now you're winning by 1 point.
Better believe it. Like I said at the start of the series, I'm taking out this challenge.
Nah, not about it.
But if you've missed any of the previous challenges or videos, you can always go back to our YouTube channel and rewatch them.
And don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.
I'm Miguel,
I'm Cece.
and we'll see you next time on
The Link Show.
See you later,
Bye.
everyone.